Welcome to Pre-Snap Podcast, presented by LineStar app. Here's your host, Casey Bubba and Scott Bogman.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Pre-Snap Podcast, brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Make sure you check them out on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar NFL. And most importantly, download the app in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Everything you need in the palm of your hand to win your DFS lineups. I saw NBA's crushing it for these guys. I saw some tweets tweeted out there. So all the sports people, they got it all for DraftKings, FanDuel, Yahoo. Go check it out. I'm on Twitter at BDentric, and my co-host, as always, to help break down our picks and bets for the Super Bowl, prop bets, you name it, we got it. On Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how we doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Looking forward to the Super Bowl. You know, I'm a little resigned to Cincy being in there, but look, it gives me an opportunity to watch them lose the Super Bowl, which is what I
so wish I was with you. I so wish I was with you because I'm going all Houday, baby.
Yeah, well, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm a big LA fan this week. So
in reality, I really don't care who wins as long as it's a good game, but I'm pulling for Houday if I have to pick one.
I am not. So
I know you're not. I know you're not. But I don't know if they have escalators. They probably have like conveyor belts or something in the new stadium because it's like a spaceship. But maybe they beam them up to the next level.
Vegan restaurants of sadness.
Tons of vegan restaurants. Yes, pita wraps, all that good stuff. Some avocado eyeliners.
Expensive parking of sadness.
Massive parking of sadness. They take you on your tram from the parking lot to the stadium, the tram of sadness. Yeah, you probably get something like that. But we'll talk about all that fun stuff. We'll get you guys ready for the fun time that is Super Bowl. If you got squares, that's always fun. There's all kinds of good festivities to take place with this. And we'll be back with you guys later in the week for your DFS showdown as usual. And then if you follow us, there'll be other content out there to get you ready for the Super Bowl. So more than you can handle. And shameless plug, because he's not going to do it. I'll do it for him. If you like college football and you like the draft, make sure you check out Bogman and do his work. He puts a lot of work into that, and it's really good stuff. So go check it out. So
yeah,
make that
Senior
happen.
Bowl, Shrine Bowl this week. I'll have an episode this week on In This League. So check it out to see who moved up and down draft boards.
Yeah, big college football and draft stuff for him. So check that out. But let's get into it. We'll do the game first, then we'll do the prop bets. Just for measures, you went 1-1 on the spreads, 1-1 over under last week. I went 0-2 and 1-1. Good times. Super Bowl. Rams, Bengals. Rams are -4. In theory, that's almost like a pick 'em with the home field advantage if you want to play at that game. It's like a 1 and 1.5 point spread. Over under 48.5, which makes me kind of excited. What you got, Bogman?
Yeah, this is, and the line is crazy because like at MGM, it's 4.5. At FanDuel, it's 4. At DK, it's 4. Fox Bet is 4. PointsBet is something crazy. Caesars is 4.5. Like there's a bunch of different lines, but it's between 4 and 4.5. So we're just sticking with the 4 because that's what it is at, I guess, the majority of books right now is 4. I'm going to take the Rams and lay the points in this game. And this is a hard decision, man. I know you're not surprised. You almost rolled your eyes at me right there. I saw it. But he's like, you can't prove that, Bogman. But
we don't do video on this LineStar YouTube channel at all, guys. Not at all.
Yeah. I mean, just look at his face. He almost did it. It's like he stopped mid-roll. So
I can't blame you, though. Like, this is really pretty much the way I'll say it. Whoever wins this game is going to cover this game.
Right, I think so. And
that's my thoughts.
The reason I'm picking the Rams is because I think the biggest mismatch of this game is the Rams defensive line versus the Bengals offensive line. I don't know that it's really debatable here because, we saw Joe Burrow survive getting sacked 9 times against the Titans front 7. They have a great front 7, particularly front 4 on that line with Harold Landry and Bud Dupree and Jeffrey Simmons and all those guys. But I don't think it's nearly as good as Aaron Donald and Von Miller and Leonard Floyd and Greg Gaines and Sebastian Joseph Day and all these guys that rotate in and out of the line for the Rams here. And I think they're going to have a real hard time handling that. Now, on the other side of the ball, when the Rams have the ball against Cincinnati, I think it's a pretty big mismatch for the Rams offensive line against the Cincy defensive line and the secondary. is a big mismatch too. Not in terms of like, Cup can torch anybody. I think that Odell has been so good. He's not going to have any difficulty catching the ball, but Matt Stafford did lead the league in interceptions. And Joe Burrow was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL this year. And these two teams are meeting in the Super Bowl. And, I was listening to Bucky Brooks and Daniel Jeremiah talk about team building. And they said it's gone from build inside out to you want the 3 Ps: passer, pass rusher, and playmakers. That's what you want now to build your team. And that's what these teams have. Both their offensive lines are a little weak, but in terms of how this game plays out, my score is 27-20 Rams. Could be 27-21 Rams, which means I'm taking the under on this as well, as it's 48.5 in most books. So for me, I'm going to take the Rams and the under. I just think the defenses have the advantage on both sides of the ball. More confident in the under, I think, than I am taking the Rams and laying the points, but that's kind of how I see this game playing out. I think it's a nice back and forth, maybe a couple big plays here or there, but for the most part, a defensive struggle.
I guess the thing with this game, I can't argue it because the defensive line with Donald and company, like Donald's the 4th best odds to win the MVP at 16-1. When was the last time you saw a pregame defensive player as the, even in the top 10 potentially to win the MVP award?
Was Von Miller the last defensive player to win it? And he's in this game,
Yeah. I think he was against Carolina when he was with Denver.
Right.
But I'd love to know, I don't know how to look back at it, but I'd love to know what his odds were going into that game. Because you got Peyton Manning and Cam Newton in that game and all, you couldn't imagine he was that high. You still have all these weapons, and the only guys ahead of Donald is Stafford, Burrow, so obviously always the 2 quarterbacks, and Cooper Kupp. Only 3 guys ahead of Aaron Donald. That is insane.
Insane. Jamar Chase isn't even in there.
Yeah, he's behind him. He's 18-1, and it's nuts. And we talked about in the previous show, that's the biggest concern I have, because even if they stop Darnold, do you stop Von Miller? Probably you can't stop both. You're not stopping both unless you just plan on putting 9 to protect the entire time, which is going to be tricky. So that's tough. Flip side, we've seen them figure this out with quick hitters to chase and get them in the open and all these things. We've seen them do it because it's been a pressure thing all season. And the Cincinnati defense has been very good.
It's outstanding.
And
it's the reason they're in this game.
And we saw how they shut down Kansas City for a whole second half. They got 2 weeks to plan for LA. LA, obviously, smart coaches as well, have 2 weeks to plan for Cincinnati. But you can put pressure on Stafford. We know what pressure does to Matthew Stafford. So that gets interesting. Towards the end of the season, it was turnover Stafford. He's been great in the playoffs. It's does that ugly head get reared again? Do we see that situation? So there's so many fun storylines of this game because it's 2 kind of unknown teams we haven't seen in here for a while. You mentioned the stat last show about all first time 18 years or whatever we haven't had X, Y, and Z. It's it's pretty crazy to see. I'm taking the Bengals just because I think when rubber meets the road,
because of Joe Burrow's drip. That's why you're doing it, right?
You got me. You got me. It's the Burrow.
God,
he's just you started it. It's your fault. There's just something about if a big play needs that constant over the Rams, and that's kind of the only difference here. And I also think Cincinnati's running game is better than the Rams right now. Akers is good and all, but Mixon, dude, he has been amazing, and it's almost like he's an afterthought because everyone's talking about Burrow and Chase and company. So I love what they're doing in Cincinnati. Should be a great game regardless. I'm taking Cincy, and I'm going to take the over. The way I look at it is if you think Cincy covers, you think the game goes over. If you think the Rams cover, the game probably goes under because the Rams, Cincy's not covering or even winning because of the defense, so they're not scoring. So that's the way I see it. If you like the Rams, you probably like the under. If you like Cincy, you probably like the over. I'm Cincy and the over.
Yeah, I look, I can see it going either way, which is why I said, and look, this game should be the tough game. We had great games and we kept saying, well, can they get better than this? Can they get better? Well, yeah, they can, because what we just saw can happen in the Super Bowl. It can be a very, very close game. And if it does come down to something that slight, like you said, if the Rams don't cover this game, I think they lose straight up, because if it comes down to something that close within 3 or 4 points, the edge has to go to Cincinnati and their kicker, Evan McPherson. I mean, the guy has been lights out. Different mindset in the Super Bowl than it is for conference championships, right? You can either be Adam Vinatieri or you could be Scott Norwood, right? So
2 different spectrums.
And that is, you talk about, confidence and arrogance and all those thin lines. That is a thin line.
Yep.
If you barely miss on a big kick in the Super Bowl, you are the new Scott Norwood, But if you nail it, look, everybody's saying Cincinnati's going to be a dynasty. You can be the Adam Vinatieri of it. So, it's a huge factor. And we know, look, Matt Gay, Pro Bowl kicker, all that stuff.
Yeah, 2 great kickers.
But he's had a groin injury throughout this playoffs. He got
You'd
hurt,
hope
right?
he'd heal up a little bit through this. Hopefully.
Right. I mean, he's got 2 weeks.
Still,
so
takes
you would
one
hope so.
kick to re-injure that thing the way that they put the violence through there.
If he nails like a 45-yarder at some point early, I'll be like, all right, well, now it's going to be real close between Gay and
then
McPherson.
You know what's the other deciding factor besides the D-line? Is you got that Rams punting game. Johnny Hecker is a game changer, man. Like the Bengals guy's probably pretty good, but the fact I don't know his name tells you everything. I know a punter's name, and that tells you what you need to know. Like Johnny Hecker is amazing. He can boot it a million miles. He can pin him like in the corner. He is one of the best punters in football. So that's if you have the flip fields, that's huge because then you pin him deep with that defense and you just pin the ears back. That's big time stuff too.
Yeah, is it? I keep wanting to say it's Huber. It is. It's Kevin Huber. That's the Bengals punter. He's fine. He's a fine punter. But he's not.
He's a punter.
Yeah, he's not Johnny Hecker, right? So, but yeah, I mean, and let's not forget. I mean, I know, and PZP had told me this today. Only 20 players, I think, or might be less than that. I think it's about 20 players are left from that Super Bowl team 4 years ago. For the Rams, but that game, remember, lowest scoring Super Bowl in history, 13-3. So, yeah, I know a lot of people call it. I enjoyed it. Low.
It was good. You're on the edge of your seat the whole time, but it was like I would rather 35-31 edge. Like I want that Bills Chiefs edge of my seat.
Right, exactly. So you would like to see some scoring happen. So
especially when you have Super Bowl squares and the one guy wins like every quarter because there's no scoring.
Right, exactly. But I mean, look, 27-21 gets us to the under. It gets us to 4 points, and I think it might play into the narrative of Joe Burrow needing to get yards to come back too, which would be a big performance for him, which we will talk about as we get into these prop bets here. Yeah,
I'll give my prediction. Money Mac game winner 30-27 Bengals.
30-27. Okay.
Let's have some fun with that one.
God, I hope you are not right.
We'll be texting. Don't you worry, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some prop bets. So there's tons of them. We will not hit on all of them probably, but we're just going to kind of play around here. We'll start with the fun ones here on the passing props. And we'll, you got Joe Burrow over or under 1.5 touchdowns. Over's 165. Under's 120. What you got?
It's a great number.
I'm going over, but I'm not gonna. I wouldn't bet 165.
Yeah, minus 165 is it's not really worth it. I think the bet you want to make is the under 1.5 and hope they get there and Joe Mixon scores 2 touchdowns, something like that. And but I mean, 28 points, that's 4 touchdowns, and that could be 2 passes and 2 runs. So I don't think I'm going to mess with that number because the over isn't worth it. And the under probably is not going to happen. So I'm going to pass on that one.
Yeah, flip side, Stafford over 1.5 is minus 225. So I'll be passing on that as well.
Yeah, same deal. I'm not going to take the under at all. I think that's an easy over. If I have to pick something, it's definitely the over on that.
Let's have some fun. Some more fun. We'll skip some of these kind of obvious ones. Let's go to passing plus rushing yards. They're both over under 288.5. Do you have either one of them going over or under?
On the passing plus rushing, Burrow. I'll take Burrow if they're both minus 115 because you don't want Burrow to be running in this game, but I think it's something that he can do. And
he ran against the Chiefs a lot.
The offensive line is so bad. He's gonna have to be running for his life a lot against Floyd and Miller and Donald Omai. So I think I would go with the over on that. I think he's probably got 20 yards rushing in his back pocket. He's going to throw for less than 265 yards. I don't think so. So give me that.
Okay, let's have some fun here. Exact quarterback props. Joe Burrow, exact passing touchdowns. You think he throws 1, 2, 3, 0, 4 or more? And I'll tell you your odds. What number do you think he throws?
I would have to bet 2.
That's plus 210 if you hit it on the number. 3's plus 450. 4 or more is plus 700. I think 2 or 3 is interesting if you want to go
I
that
think
route.
the bet is plus 450 on the 3 there.
I think
Because
that's
that game
good
could
odds.
be 27-21. All 3 of those are Joe
Yep.
Burrow passing touchdowns, and
Big
you
time.
still get it. So
I think there's a lot of screens involved to this game. Well, I'm just trying to pick ones with better odds. What do you think for Matt Stafford? Exact touchdown 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 or more.
I would say 2 for him as well.
2 is plus 175. 1 is plus 300. 3 is plus 250. So they got him throwing a lot more touchdowns than Joey Burrow.
Well, they're favored.
And the running game too.
Yeah, and the running game has been rough, and that's we'll get into it when we talk about Cam Akers, but a dude's coming off his Achilles, AC sprain in the NFC Championship. Like, he's doing everything he can, but how much is he going to be able to do?
Yep. All right, let's talk about some rushing props here, rushing and receiving props, as I like to say. Rushing yards. You got Cam Akers, Jamar. Let's see here. Okay, Joe Burrow over under 11.5 yards.
That is the over of the over in this game. That's probably my favorite bet. Yeah, they're going to chase him out of the pocket so many times. He's going to have to run at least 3 or 4 times. So I think it's easy 11.5 yards. And
Stafford's over under 5.5, and he ran a lot last game too. I'm not saying he's going to. He usually doesn't, but he ran a ton last game. So
it's the same deal. Their offensive line, I think it's a better offensive line than Cincy's, and Cincy's defensive line isn't as good as the Rams. So there's less scenarios where he'd run. Plus, he's a little bit older, not as nimble as he once was, right? So he's not going to run a ton, but 5.5 yards is gettable. If I bet anything there, it's the over.
Receiving yards. This is one that I've been taking every week since Cam Akers returned because it's too low every time. Over under 15.5 yards. I'll take the over again. He gets like at least 3 to 4 catches every game. So I'm going to take the over on that one at minus 110.
All right. Well, 15.5 is fine. I'm not going to go into it with the confidence you are because, he didn't practice most of last week. He said he's going to play, right? He's going to be fine, but they're probably going to put him in a sling. They're probably going to numb him up and all that stuff. So he's a much better receiver than Sony Michel. So if I'm going to take one over on Cam Akers, it is that receiving one, but it makes me super nervous just how banged up he's been. So.
Fair enough. You got your Cups over 106, Chase 78.5, Mixon 25.5. Do anything for you?
No, not at all, actually, because Samaje Perine, this over 8.5 is easy.
Over 8.5 looks pretty good, doesn't it?
That is so easy. Scored a touchdown last week, and I think he played, if I'm remembering correctly, it was like 11 of 14 third downs he was in on. Plus, if they're running 2-minute drill, he's probably going to be in there as well. So I love that over 8.5 yards. You and I think the same way about this stuff, man. Like you can take your chases and your cups in these ones, but I would rather go for those low totals because it takes one catch.
One of the kind of, I guess you could say, higher totals, but I like a lot. OBJ over 63.5.
I love OBJ over 63.5. He's been, he had the enormous NFC Championship game. A lot of coverage is going to be rolled over towards our boy Cooper Kupp. And who is going to be on OBJ most of the game? Eli Apple.
Time to eat.
Eat it up. I also kind of like this over on T. Higgins, 68.5. I know he disappeared in that first game, but he's been good the last 2, AFC Championship in the divisional round. He's been much better. Plus, CJ Uzomah is going to play. At least he said today as we're recording this, he's going to play. But I don't know how confident he's going to be, how much of a real reliable option he's going to be. I feel like he'd be more of a decoy in a game like this. Specifically, if he's not on the field in the middle and he's only in there during red zone stuff. So I think Higgins is going to have a chance to eat up some yards too. So I like the over on Higgins as well.
On the receptions props, there's 2 plus monies I like. The Perine over 1.5 at plus 100.
Yes.
And then Van Jefferson over 2.5 at plus 130. I like the odds on that because it's not as, I'm not super confident in it, but I think 3 is definitely in the reach. He was used a lot more last week against the Niners, especially when Higbee went down. So I think Van Jefferson gets a lot more of that Higbee type role, and plus 130 I think is pretty darn good odds to me.
Higbee, I'm less confident in than you are. But
I said Van Jefferson is the one I'm taking.
Or excuse me, Van Jefferson. I'm less confident. 2.5 is fine, and like you said, you're getting those nice plus 130. I kind of like your boy OBJ at plus 110
it's a
at
good
5.5. So I think he gets 6 catches. Cooper Kupp, I could see going over 8.5, and you're getting plus 110 on that one. Jamar Chase at 5.5 makes me nervous. Like I said, I'm not betting Cam Akers over anything except receiving yards. So I'm not going to touch that one. Higgins 5.5 is, I don't think I'm going to take that one either. So I'm OBJ and I love the P Ryan one. I think that's great.
Yeah, P Ryan over 1.5 seems pretty tasty. Just kind of scrolling through this. I want to get to the any player. No, where's the touchdown props at? No,
Touchdown scores. So you have first scores. You have like Kupp is plus 500. Mixon is plus 750. Akers plus 750. Jamar Chase plus 800. Go to up to the very top where it says touchdown scores.
I'm totally blind right now. Oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for. Yep, got it.
Right.
Yeah.
So those are first. Then you have last score, but anytime.
Yep.
Those are the ones you want. Right.
OBJ plus 120.
Yeah,
He's
OBJ
all
plus
the red
120
zone
is a
love,
great
all
one.
of it.
That's a fantastic one. I really like that one. Sony Michel plus 240. I think he might get, especially with if that shoulder injury gets any worse, they would obviously pivot to Sony Michel. So I think that's not a bad bet either. I kind of like a QB sneak from somebody in here.
I was about
Do they
to
have
say,
one
I
of those?
Well, you can do Stafford's plus 650 anytime, Burrow's plus 500 anytime. You can play them both at plus money and still make out.
Yeah, I think Burrow is a better bet as far as that goes. Because what I would like to see, I mean, the Steelers did this with Ben one time this year, and it worked. Got called back on a stupid hold, of course. But this is my favorite play when you're at like 3rd and goal from the 4, 2nd and goal from the 4, something like that. You go out 5 wide, and then it's a design draw up the gut. You spread all those defenders out. If your line can get one good push, it's asking a lot for Cincinnati. Probably better on the Rams side for Matt Stafford. But yeah, like you said, you can play them both, and if one of them hits, you're coming out plus money. So I like that.
All right, let's do some defensive stuff here. Let's just Cincinnati over under 1.5 sacks.
Yeah, I'll take the over.
1.5. Yeah, over is minus.
But the over is minus 150. Yeah.
Rams total sacks over under 3.5.
I mean,
minus 135 seems pretty good, right?
Hammer it. Yeah.
But here's the fun one: the exact total amount of sacks for the game combined, 7 or more is plus 280.
Oh man. Combined 7. That's I'll go over that.
Yeah, because
5 and 3.
Yeah, 5 is 300, 6 is 350, 7 or more is 280. That's intriguing. That's very, very intriguing.
I like that one.
Player to record the first sack, Aaron Darnold's plus 350.
I think what is Miller on that?
Plus 400, barely different.
Yeah, I would rather take
Sam
Miller.
Hubbard's plus 700.
Sam Hubbard's another really good one.
That's sneaky for value there.
You know what? Okay, here's one I'd like. Greg Gaines plus 1,400. I think is a really nice one. I mean, this is all
Well, let's just skip to the fun part here. Player sacks. Aaron Darnold to record a full sacks minus 200. I think you should just take that and run away with it.
I mean, yeah,
There's
you're giving
no
up
free
2 to
money,
1, but he's
good.
getting one. Yeah,
great. Your Greg Gaines, he's plus 250 just to get one.
I mean, yeah, do that one and the first time.
Hubbard's plus 150.
Yeah, I mean,
these are fun.
They even put the Miller to record a full sack minus 150.
So Miller and Darnold are basically locks to get a sack, is what it looks like. But the rest are all plus.
Well,
money.
Hendrickson is minus money as well, and so and Darnold. So Hendrickson, Darnold, or Donald, and Von Miller all minus money to get a sack. So that's what. That tells you right there. There's at least 3 sacks in this game because those dudes are all minus money. So yeah, I think the over 7 is a good bet there.
Okay, kicking points. McPherson over under 7.5.
Oh,
that's minus 145 for the over. I like the over.
My score, I got to go under.
True. I go over, but you go under. Let's talk punt props. This could be fun. This is what we're here for, folks.
First team to punt.
I was looking for Total punts over under 6.5. Unders plus 110.
Oh,
Give me the
over.
under.
I got
Give me the
over
under.
that.
Give me the under.
I'm picking the under in the game.
I know.
So
That's
I
why I'm picking the over.
On the
So give me
punts.
the under. I was hoping for some Johnny Hecker props. They don't have him here. That's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
They're probably
Longest punt.
Yeah, I was gonna have some fun. How many times do you pin him inside the 20? Let's have some fun with this.
Look, that is no more ridiculous than coin flip and
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Let's get because come on, you could be at a Super Bowl party, like you'll be the guy in the corner going crazy for a guy pinning him inside the 10, and no one knows why. All right, I'm gonna skip to some of these like awards, and we're gonna do some goofy props before we head out of here. MVP, who you got? We talked Darnold's numbers, like. There's some low ones, Stafford 100, Burrow 225, Cup 600, and then you get to the 4 digits after that.
I mean, I feel like Stafford would have to have like less than 250 yards and 1 touchdown for them to give it to anybody else. So I got the Rams winning. I think it's going to be Stafford.
It's like either Stafford or Darnold, pretty much, or Donald. I mean, it's pretty much what it feels like. It's like it's so hard.
Von Miller's won it before. Cooper Kupp has had incredible games. You know, OBJ's had incredible games.
It just feels like if they
defensive play could swing this. So like a Leonard Floyd.
If they're you're the defensive guy. Give me some DBs.
Okay,
like
Mike Hilton is definitely one of them. I think because I asked Pizza Pia earlier today, like if you have to pick one defensive player to score a touchdown, who would it be? I saw that on Reddit earlier this week. I said Mike Hilton. You know, against Tannehill, he bounced it to himself and caught it and had a chance to score on it. Just got caught because he actually knocked the ball up too high. But, you know, I think those DBs have a chance. Leonard Floyd was answered a bunch on that Reddit thread that I saw earlier because it's like Von Miller gets in there, gets a strip sack. Floyd is close and picks up the ball and runs it in. I think that's a good one as well. You know, a short field touchdown. Logan Wilson has put himself in position to get some interceptions on occasion. I think he ended up with 5 this season. So he would be another good one. Trey Hendrickson could strip sack and fall on one in the end zone. Wouldn't be a shock. Same thing with Hubbard. So, I mean, there's an array of players to pick as in terms of scoring a defensive touchdown. If I had to pick one, it would be Hilton. That's who I would pick.
I think Money Mac at plus 150 is exciting to me, just for fun. If it is 30-27 on a walk-off, let's have some fun. Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins all with 50-plus receiving yards each. Joe Mixon and Cam Akers both 75-plus rushing yards each. Yes, at plus 1,000.
No. Akers makes me the most nervous out of any of those guys.
All right. Evan McPherson, successful 50-plus yard field goal, plus 140. Sign me up.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. I could see that. It's an indoor stadium. Yeah.
Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp over combined 199.5 receiving yards, plus 105.
So 100 apiece.
Could be 150 and 50.
What was give me the odds again?
Yes is plus 105. There is no.
Not enough.
Okay. Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford combined for over 4.5 passing touchdowns, plus 145.
Not enough.
Let's have some fun here.
Plus 145?
Yeah. That's not bad.
You gotta at least give me $1.50 per dollar.
Okay.
To get
this one's deep, so to get your notepad out. But
okay, all right.
Stafford and Burrow both throw for 250 plus.
Okay, I got that. That's check marked.
Kupp, Jamar Chase, 75 receiving yards each.
Check.
Mixon, Akers, 55 scrimmage yards each.
Okay, sure.
Plus 300.
Oh, that's it? Plus 300? That's my favorite one out of all the ones you said. It's lower number totals.
I'm trying to help you out.
It's more people, but it's lower numbers overall. I'm way more into that one.
This one's fun too, but since you have the under, I'm guessing no. Stafford and Burrow both have 300 plus passing yards. Stafford and Burrow both have 2 plus passing touchdowns. Plus 400.
That's not bad. I mean, you would take that because you're picking the over.
Ooh, I like this one for obscurity's sake.
All right.
OBJ and T. Higgins over 1.5 combined touchdowns, plus 275.
I like that one. That I think the lower number with the 6 guys was my favorite, but this one's my second favorite.
That's pretty tempting. Tempting.
I mean, and there's more like these. There's goofy ones. There's ones with the coin flip and the Gatorade.
I'm going to get to those here in a minute.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
I'm going to try to wrap up with those, but we'll go to these novelty ones here first. Here we go. Any kick to hit the uprights, yes, plus 400.
No, that just doesn't happen that often.
Coin toss, heads or tails, minus 105 each.
I mean, tails never fails, right?
Yeah, that's what they say. Gatorade color.
It have to be orange or blue, right?
Orange is plus 200, blue's plus 400. And none is plus 350. Those are the heavy favorites.
Oh, let's go with blue. Yeah.
Blue plus 400 with
Rams. Blue.
Yep. Yellow, greens plus 450. Do they go yellow for the Rams? This
wouldn't make sense. I mean, maybe yellow for the Rams. Yeah. They got some gold in that.
Jersey number of the first touchdown score under 23.5 is minus 140, over 23.5.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah, that's a goofy one. That's right in my wheelhouse.
I would go with I think it's probably going to be Cooper Kupp, so I guess I go with under.
Okay, now we're going to do some. I think this is the one on this page I want right here. That's not what I want. There's some other. Let's do some cross sport specials. These are always fun.
Oh no, I hate
no, we won't. These are gonna be too complicated.
Because it's like, will the Nuggets score 50 before half during this? Blah blah blah. All that.
I think that's about all I got here for these. There's usually a lot more unique ones, and I just can't find them unless I'm.
Yeah, you have coin toss winner.
Yeah, I did that one.
Cincy or the Rams, both minus 105. You did the Gatorade color.
So we did most of them then.
Yeah, okay. You have both teams to score 2+ field goals in the Super Bowls, plus 250.
That's close. I'm gonna go no. I'm going under.
Both teams score 2+ passing touchdowns in the Super Bowl, plus 125.
If I do that, I'll take my Burrow and Stafford to both go over 300 yards and throw the touchdowns from like plus 400. Yeah,
but this doesn't. It's not. It's just they both have. There's 4 total touchdown passes, but each team has to have 2.
Yeah,
I think that one I like better. Plus 125. I mean, the odds aren't great. Both teams to score a rushing touchdown is plus 150. So.
Yeah, I'd probably go that one. I kind of like that.
Yeah. We have total players to have a pass attempt, Bubba. Over 2.5 is plus 155. So under 2.5 is minus 210. So this is OBJ going to get to do a throw? Is there going to be a fake punt, reverse throw?
Always some trickery. Always some trickery
pass.
Somewhere. Take the over. Yeah. I always like the over in this one. There's some trickery.
Yeah,
somewhere.
You get plus money on it. I agree with that too. I mean, there's total kickoffs. There's total players with a catch. Total first downs. Total rushing attempts. This is the one game a year where they split up the whole game like this. It's an enormous amount of props that you can bet.
But like crazy. the fun ones aren't even on there yet. Those must come out later in the week. Like how many times you see X celebrity in the stands?
Yeah.
Like the halftime show stuff. Like
right. Will there be a wardrobe malfunction?
Like what song gets played first? Who does what? Right. Like last year with his Adam Levine wear a hat, does he take his shirt off? There's all those different ones. Like it's interesting. It's goofy. So
yeah, you have this drunk dude sitting there. Rip that shirt off, Levine. Yeah, exactly. I got $500 on it.
Like this year's gonna be awesome. You got Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. There's like 5 other people. It's gonna be pretty wild. As they said in a good meme that you've obviously seen. It's Matt Stafford and Eminem, the closest Detroit's been to the Super Bowl in years.
Yeah. Oh man, poor Detroit. Thank God the Red Wings were good for a long time because
you got something, and
they're bad now. The Pistons are bad, the Tigers are bad, and the Lions are bad. But Michigan made the playoff. So
there you go, and you got your coach back, so you should be happy. But we'll wrap it up there. Bogman's team Rams. I'm team Bengals. Who dey?
Ram it.
Burrow. But we'll be back with you guys later this week for your DFS preview showdown slate action to get you ready for that fun-filled stuff. Wait for a little more news to come out. Uzomah, Higbee, goofy stuff like that. But again, make sure you follow LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar NFL. Download the app in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Everything you need in the palm of your hands to build your winning DFS lineups. Bogman's on Twitter at Bogman Sports. I'm Matt Dietrich. I'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to Pre-Snap Podcast, presented by LineStar app. Please like, comment, subscribe, and rate for good